Hi, welcome back to Amma's Stories. Today I'm going to tell you the story of Louis Pasteur. Two things prompted me to tell this story. One was a query by a boy asking me what is pasteurization. He had seen the word pasteurized milk on a milk packet. Second was one of my friend's son was bitten by a dog. She took him to the hospital. The doctor inoculated him with an anti rabies vaccine, and the boy was all right after a couple of hours. But things were not that easy when Louis was born. He was born in 1822 in France, but grew up in Arbois, a small little town nearby. One day, Louis was playing with his friends in Arbois. Suddenly, he heard people running helter skelter. There were frantic footsteps. So he asked a man standing nearby, "What's the matter?" Oh, the man seemed to be so frightened. He muttered, Mr. Joseph has been bitten." "By a mad dog?" asked Louis. "No, by a mad wolf who came from the mountains." And the man disappeared. Louis also ran home fast. He was happy that he had been rescued from the clutches of that mad animal. But this incident left an indelible mark on Louis' psyche. At that time, he never thought that he would become the founder of bacteriology and make it into a practical science. And I think even Louis' parents also did not have any inkling that he would become a scientist in future because they were leather tanners for generations. After finishing his school studies, Louis became a scientist, I would say, or a chemist. He began to do experiments in chemistry, and most of his experiments were successful. So his fame spread far and wide, and people came to know about him. But a question nagged Louis all the time. The question was, why does milk become sour if left unattended for a long time? And for the same reason, why does beer and wine get sour? He began to conduct experiments and found out that certain bacteria were responsible for this sourness. He also found out that if you heat that bacteria for a certain amount of time at a certain temperature, they can be destroyed. And thus was born the idea of pasteurization. Scientists later did a lot of research on his idea, and today we have access to pasteurized milk. Now, Louis had become a biologist, I would say, from a chemist. But in 1881, the disease called anthrax killed most of the cattle in France. No one could do anything to cure the cattle. Louis continued with his experiments and found that a certain species of virus were responsible for this disease. He inoculated animals with that virus and later discovered that if they faced more powerful virus from an animal that has been already been bitten by another mad animal. The animal that were bitten could be saved to an extent. And voila, the idea of vaccination was born. Now, up till that time, Louis had not done any experiment with human beings. And thanks to Louis, that today a lot of vaccination programs are there, and we have curbed the disease of diphtheria, typhoid, etc., through vaccination to a great extent. But in 1885, I think it was a July morning, a lady came screaming to Louis and said, "Please save my son, sir. Please save my son. He has been bitten by a mad dog." Louis was in a dilemma. Remember, up till that time, he had not inoculated any human beings with the virus. What to do? Finally, he obeyed his conscience. He took the boy to his home for careful observation and inoculated him with a series of injections over the days. Miraculously, the boy was all right after some days, and anti-rabies vaccine was invented or discovered by Louis Pasteur. His fame spread far and wide. Many people came to him, and the French government, in honor of Louis Pasteur, in 1888 founded the Pasteur Institute in Paris. Lots of experiments are conducted there, and people can even go for uh, their further treatment. And with these words, I end the story. Thanks to Louis Pasteur, today the whole mankind has been saved from certain death causing diseases. See, Louis did not have any background of a scientist, but it was through his innate curiosity, critical thinking, persistence, and proactive problem solving that he could find a cure to diseases that were affecting the mankind. I think if we enhance or foster these skills in us, we can also become a scientist like Louis and do something for the mankind. With these words, today I end my story. Hope you liked it. Comment, share, and subscribe. Till we meet with another story. Tata. Bye bye.